conquering the labors, ancient challenges, modern triumphs. Welcome, seekers of growth and courage. In this journey, we'll walk beside the legendary hero Hercules, who faced 9 impossible labors, and we'll meet the Buddha, who showed that suffering is the doorway to liberation. Our goal: to learn how the trials of the past become our own daily victories. Begin with a simple promise: you will rise, no matter how heavy the burden. Chapter 1: The Thunderous Forge. When Hercules first stepped onto the battlefield, he faced the hide of a lion that no armor could penetrate. The lion was a symbol of fierce self-doubt and external criticism. Hercules did not flee. He tackled the beast with a bare iron, then wore its skin like a garment of triumph. In ancient Greece, the Nemean lion was feared by all. Yet the hero's perseverance taught that terror is not an obstacle if you face it directly. The lion's impenetrable hide becomes a metaphor for the mental barriers we build in our lives, those thoughts that feel unbreakable. Modern lesson: courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite it. When you feel stuck in a career plateau, ask yourself if the fear of failure is as massive as the lion's skin. Break the fear into manageable pieces, small steps that are as bold as one charge against a beast. You could start with a daily micro goal. Send that email you've been putting off, or schedule a meeting to ask for a raise. Each micro step is a strike that gradually wears down the iron barrier. Remember, the lion turned into a garment. Every conquered fear becomes your armor for the next battle. Conclusion: facing the lion taught us that bravery is a practice, not a one-time act. Call to action: if you found this story inspiring, like the video, share it with a friend who needs courage, and subscribe for more ancient wisdom turned modern hacks. Reflective question: what iron wall has your imagination built, and what small step can you take today to start breaking it? Chapter 2: The Poison Stallion. The second labor had Hercules hunting the swift, deadly Erymanthus stag. The stag's horn was wrapped in snakes that inflicted a venomous wound. Capturing it required patience as well as speed, and more importantly, an understanding of the stag's nature. Greek myth tells us that Hercules was not merely powerful, he was attentive to the creature's behavior, stalking it without overreaching. He learned that the stag's speed was its defense, a truth that mirrored the fast pace of modern markets. The lesson for us: success demands a balance of urgency and strategic patience. You cannot sprint blindly through an industry change. You must observe market patterns, adapt your plan, then act decisively. Application: identify a trending technology or business practice. Instead of charging in, spend a week gathering data, speaking to experts, and mapping out constraints. Only then commit resources to accelerate. By watching the stallion's moves, you learn to see opportunities buried in quicksilver motion. Conclusion: Hercules' capture of the stag reminds us that speed without understanding is reckless. Call to action: like this story, share it with a colleague racing toward innovation, and subscribe to deepen your strategic skills. Reflective question: when was the last time you rushed into a decision? How could you integrate observation and patience into that process? Chapter 3: The Glass River of Fear. The fourth labor had Hercules facing the Stymphalian birds, metal-winged creatures that could strike like hailstones. He had no weapon to confront them directly, so he used a rattle gifted by Athena to frighten the birds into flight and then shot them down. In this myth, the birds represent the flood of negative thoughts that overwhelm us. No physical weapon can defeat all of our worries directly. Instead, we use a tool, mindfulness, to transform them. Athena's rattle, a metaphor for disciplined thought, gave Hercules the advantage he needed. Buddha taught that our suffering arises from clinging and aversion. When we focus on one's self-defeat instead of the larger context, fear multiplies. Turning this fear into a focus allows us to step back and observe, just as Athena's rattle made the birds aware of his presence. Actionable takeaway: next time a daunting situation clouds your mind, use a mental rattle, write a brief list of facts, or speak aloud the reasons you feel stuck. That act of focusing externalizes the fear and diminishes its power. Then, use a calm plan to move forward. In our lives, our own metal-winged birds can be deadlines, criticism, or unearned expectations. The rattle is the practice of mindful breathing or journaling, turning the internal storm into something manageable. Conclusion: only by turning inward attention into a constructive tool can we command the storm. Call to action: give this rattle a try, and share your story of turning fear into strategy. Subscribe for more stories that teach transformation. Reflective question: what bird is hovering over you today, and how can you use a mental rattle to calm its attack? Chapter 4: The Hydra's Breath. The fifth labor had Hercules battling a multi-headed serpent whose heads regenerated with each cut. The hero used fire to cauterize the stumps, ensuring that the creature could not grow back. The Hydra is a symbolic representation of problems that multiply if only approached haphazardly. For modern entrepreneurs, these are the seemingly invisible issues that reappear after quick fixes. The Buddhist principle of interconnectedness teaches us that all conditions affect each other. When we remove the root, like cauterizing the stumps, our solutions become permanent. You must identify the underlying pattern that causes recurring setbacks. Implementation: log your most frequent obstacles in a simple notebook. Ask, what's the root cause? Is it lack of clarity, resource constraints, or a misaligned expectation? Address those core issues directly, rather than patching symptoms. For instance, if you consistently struggle with time management, the real problem might be an unstructured daily schedule. Adjusting the schedule with discipline, cauterizing the Hydra, stops the issue from remanifesting. Conclusion: sustained success arises from eliminating the source, not just defeating the symptoms. Call to action: take your Hydra notebook, like this video, and share it with your team. Subscribe for deeper dives into turning roots into success. Reflective question: which of your recurring challenges has a hidden root that, if burned, would silence the entire beast? Chapter 5: The Golden Goose of Liberation. Hercules' final labor was to capture the golden hind, the divine deer of Artemis whose antlers bore the key to the heavens. The hunter sought not for its golden color, but for its purity, trusting in patience over force. The golden hind symbolizes the ultimate goal, inner peace and purpose, achieved by aligning one's actions with profound values. The narrative highlights that spiritual triumph is not delivered simply by exerting power. It arrives through mindful, purposeful living. The Buddha taught that suffering ends when we let go of attachment. In pursuit of the golden hind, Hercules let go of the need to dominate. He moved in harmony with the creature, gaining its trust and the ultimate reward. Action step: identify your own golden goal, be it a business mission, personal passion, or community impact. Align daily habits so that each task edges you toward that vision, not away from it. Write a brief vision statement, read it every morning, and let it anchor your actions. When you align with a purpose, the obstacles become simply detours, not enemies. Conclusion: the golden hind reminds us that true glory is earned by faith, patience, and unwavering commitment to higher principles. Call to action: if the story resonates, share with someone who needs inspiration, and subscribe to join a community of modern seekers. Reflective question: what is your golden hind, your ultimate passion, and how can you align your daily work to pursue it with devotion? Philosophy Spotlight: Buddhism, the Path Through Suffering. Buddhism offers a mirror for our struggles, illuminating how suffering can be the catalyst for growth. The Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, once taught in the Deer Park a profound truth: all that we are is the result of what we have thought. Our thoughts shape reality, and clinging to them creates pain. The core principle, the Four Noble Truths, presents the following roadmap. 1. Suffering dukkha exists in life. 2. It originates from craving and attachment. 3. Ending craving removes suffering. 4. The path to end craving is the Eightfold Path: ethical conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. From this philosophy, we extract 3 actionable lessons. 1. Mindful observation instead of reaction. In business, rapid decisions are often made under pressure, leading to mistakes. Mindful observation, stopping to consider the consequences, mirrors the Buddha's advice to watch the breath. Practice pausing for a minute before responding to an email or proposal. 2. Detachment as strength. Detaching from outcomes does not mean indifference. It means approaching goals with a clear mind, free from fear of loss. For entrepreneurs, this reduces burnout. Set goals, then let execution unfold without obsessing over results. 3. Compassionate engagement. Buddha's path includes loving kindness. When competitors succeed, celebrate them. When colleagues stumble, offer support. Compassion builds networks that sustain you during your own storms. These lessons connect to the overall theme. The labors of Hercules, each a metaphor for different types of obstacles, are best overcome when we blend heroic action with mindful insight. The heroic narrative supplies the drive, while the Buddhist philosophy refines the direction. Call to action. Apply one of these lessons today. Maybe pause before your next important email, let go of the need to control every detail, or send a supportive note to a peer. If this insight helped you, like the video, share it, and subscribe for more paths that blend ancient wisdom with today's challenges. Reflective question. When faced with a difficult situation, how can you shift from reactive haste to mindful clarity? Final thoughts. Heroes have always faced dragons, giants, or labyrinths. Whether it was Hercules grappling with physical beasts or Buddha confronting inner torment, both showed that obstacles are not dead ends, they are invitations to grow. In your own life, imagine each challenge as a mythical beast. Use the courage of the Nemean lion, the patience of the Uromanthus stag, the calm of the rattle against the Stymphalian birds, the wisdom of cauterizing the hydra, and the purpose of the golden hind. Pair these heroic acts with the Buddhist practice of mindful observation, detachment, and compassion, and your personal labors become a symphony of power and peace. Join the journey. Like this video, spread its ancient wisdom among friends, and subscribe to a community that turns myth into mastery. Let us walk together, turning each obstacle into a stepping stone toward greatness. Thank you for listening. May your path be as bold as Hercules and as enlightened as the Buddha.